As the suspects in Sacramento's mass shooting on K Street sit in court again today, people across the city are reacting and remembering on this, the second anniversary of the incident. What's been described as the worst mass shooting in Sacramento history claimed the lives of 6 people, 3 of them innocent and not involved, according to city police. A dozen others were injured. As word of what happened outside of a K Street nightclub spread around 2 a.m. on this day 2 years ago, my 2 guests today took action. I'm talking about Mervyn Brookins, the director of the anti-gang group Brother to Brother, and Leah Shank, founder of social justice organization Impact. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Leah, you've been attending the multi-day preliminary hearing for the suspects in this shooting. You stepped out of court to join us right now. From your perspective, what's the feeling in the courtroom as you support some of the same civilian witnesses that have been testifying? You came out early the morning 2 years ago to stand with some of these same folks, right?
Yes. Today is hard because they shouldn't have to be in court on a day like today. I mean, they shouldn't have to go through this at all. But today is a really difficult day because they're having to already relive getting that call and reliving that day and reliving these last 2 years, and to have to be in court at a time like this has made it really, really difficult for the family. So we're here today. We've been in court for a couple months already, but today is an especially difficult day.
Mervyn, almost immediately after the shooting, folks across the city of Sacramento were hearing from police that this terrible situation was gang related. Now, you battle gang violence every single day with your organization, Brother to Brother, and the police really leaned on you to avoid a retaliatory chain of shootings from starting. You were able to do that then and really keep the peace. How?
Well, it wasn't just Brother to Brother. There were several organizations throughout the city, on all sides of the city, that came together and reached out to people that we knew were influencers. And we just came together, as a city and decided that we were going to do everything we could to not have any more victims. And it was pretty successful in doing so.
Mervyn, how do you see the gang situation in town 2 years after what happened on K Street?
My personal opinion is that we've made inroads in reaching those that are at risk and those that are involved. Again, I can't emphasize enough the partnerships of the organizations like Impact and Hope and All In Together, organizations that are embedded in different parts of the city, but collaboratively working together to make as big an impact as we've been able to so far. So, today it's not just gangs, it's just about every youth that is out there that are facing those challenges and deciding whether to pick up a gun. It's bigger than just gangs today. It's almost every youth that's in our city, they're at risk, and we're trying to reach as many as we can.
Leah, the city made lots of promises in the hours after the mass shooting, pledging more resources, more patrols, better lighting in the area to ensure people felt safe, direct support to victims' families. What grade would you give the city for what you've seen happen since then on those promises?
That's difficult because there's still people dying on these streets in the city and in the county of Sacramento. It hasn't stopped. The calls still come in. Just a week later, we lost DJ Gio, gun violence, just a week after the K Street shooting. So I can't say that things have changed. I don't want to see that on my end because we're still getting calls. I'm actually here today in 3 different courtrooms from gun violence here in Sacramento. So it's heavy. It's heavy on my end as far as my workload goes. I don't know what's happening behind the scenes because I'm not privy to those conversations. But I definitely know that it's still a problem here in Sacramento, and it's definitely something that we have to get under wraps.
Mervyn, since bullets were fired, what would you say about how the city of Sacramento's addressed the issues that led up to K Street even happening to begin with?
Well, I know that they've made a significant investment in groups, community-based organizations to try to make an impact in this area. At the present time, the city and the county have partnered to create a gun violence prevention campaign. And they're making investment. They're putting the dollar behind the words. So, as Leah said, there's a lot of work to be done. There's still things going on, but from my vantage point, they are meeting us halfway. We still can do better, but I believe the city, the county, SAC Sheriff, and SAC PD are all trying to work together to make inroads in this problem.
Mervin, what hasn't been done then?
That's hard to say. There's always, something that you could do better. When you look back in retrospect, there's always things that you look back and say, I wish I had done this. I wish I had known that. So that's difficult to say. I just try to focus on the positive, focus on the things that are working, and we're getting the word out about gun violence prevention, what happens when you pick up that gun. That's the best we can do in terms of prevention, is try to inform the youth of what happens once you pick that gun up, the things that they don't know about, and hope and trust that they make informed, correct decisions.
All righty. And Leah, in just about an hour, you're going to be talking with people across the city about that, about violence, about decisions. You're kind of having a public forum. Tell us about what you're going to be doing at 12:30.
Yeah, so it's an acknowledgement. The families are here, and they deserve to be able to remember their loved ones in a positive light. They deserve to be able to utilize this day in remembering their loved ones in the best way that they possibly can. And so that's what we do as advocates, is to support them in that and talk about what we need to do as a community to move forward. I haven't benefited from the investment of the city or the county. I would love to have that conversation at one point, but nevertheless, we're still here. We still show up. And it's really just to talk about the unity piece. Like, we have to unify. We have to. There's a lot of hurt in this room. There's a lot of families involved. There's a lot of tension. It's the first time that these families are together in the same room. And so there's a lot of tension that should not be. And so we really need to learn how to band together. And that's really what today is. It's a collective effort to just come together and honor the loved ones that lives were lost, honor the people that couldn't make it here today, and just really rally around the families and support them on this difficult moment.
We were just seeing some of their pictures and some of the vigils that happened right after the shooting. So we know that's going to be happening at 12:30. Thank you so much, Leah. Thank you, Mervin. We appreciate you.
Thank you.